Hello, welcome to the next episode of Just Peachy. I'm your host, Peachie Thompson. Just Peachy is a show where I interview experts and subject matter leaders in the fields of insurance, taxes, and finances. This show is for the consumers, so once or twice a month, we do have fun where I interview people and talk about food, culture, and just lifestyle. I have a lineup of awesome speakers, and today we have two advisors from Whitman Wealth Management, Miss Beverly Whitman and Adam Drake. Welcome, Beverly. Welcome, Adam. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Peachy.
So let's jump right into business. Everyone says they're different, but what really sets Whitman Wealth apart?
Great question, Peachy. I believe what sets Whitman Wealth Management apart is the fact that I am a CPA and we do tax planning and tax preparation in addition to the traditional services that financial advisors provide with comprehensive financial planning and investment management.
Excellent. And Adam, any thoughts on?
Yeah, we're really combining those three main services under one roof. Investment management, which is mostly my firm's responsibility. My firm is Highland Investment Advisors, who provides the investment management for Whitman Wealth. And then Beverly's financial planning and taxes. And we integrate all those services right here at our Nocatee location.
I love it. So it's everything under one roof. It's a one-stop shop, it sounds to me. So I have a lot of questions, but as just like our viewers, I love hearing stories. Do you mind walking us through maybe an example of what you do?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So one example I think that really comes to mind where we were able to really add value to a client by offering the comprehensive services that we do. She'd been a tax client for several years and always complained, why do I owe so much in taxes? Why do I owe so much in taxes? And I could see just from her tax return that her investment portfolio was really very tax inefficient. So after a while, we were able to show her what we could do differently, without giving up any investment returns, but just paying attention to which accounts are holding particular assets and what types of investments she was in. We were able to save her really about $10,000 a year in taxes just by paying attention to the portfolio a little bit more carefully. With taxes in mind.
And that's why us working 15 feet apart each day is so powerful. We collaborated on this, and as a portfolio manager, those things just jump right off the page at me. As Beverly mentioned, there were tax inefficient investments in taxable accounts. And so we're talking about a location problem. And then the investments themselves were not particularly tax efficient as well. So we reconfigured the portfolio to not take any more or less risk than she was taking before. Beverly alluded to it before, or just a moment ago, that we weren't giving up anything in terms of returns, but the tax efficiency in that first year and going forward is a pretty big deal.
Absolutely, it's made a big difference to her her tax savings and ability to grow her wealth.
I am curious, how will you choose investments to recommend to a client like that? What goes on in your mind?
Mm-hmm. It really comes from a pretty thorough understanding and discussions with the clients as to how much risk they need to take, how much they want to take, what portfolio is going to give them the best chance at making their financial plan work for their situation. So it's not just a canned portfolio. Of course, we use a model, right? We have a model portfolio, but we can finely tune that to drive towards the goals that we set out in a financial plan. And then Beverly can tie into that tax planning to make sure that the after-tax returns are the best they can be. It's not what you make, it's what you keep after taxes. So we have to have all three of those components working together. So I would say, in summary, that the financial plan informs the investments work towards making a plan, work towards its goals, and then overlaying that is tax efficiency.
Tax efficiency. Everybody loves that. So tell me, as a CPA, Beverly, CPA first before a CFP, I'd love to get your thoughts on that subject.
On tax efficiency?
Yes.
There's just so many strategies out there, and everybody is very different, which is why I love what I do. Is kind of like putting together a puzzle every time I'm working with a new client. But there really are just a lot of strategies, and it just depends on a client's personal situation. So, and it always requires some proactive planning. There's nothing I hate worse than sitting down and doing a tax return during tax season, realizing that an opportunity was missed for a tax client in their investment portfolio. So that's where it really is helpful just to have all these services married under one roof, where you can be more proactive, and if the investment manager understands the tax situation, then we can really make a much bigger difference than if we're just cranking out a tax return during tax season.
I'll make two comments and then bring up sort of a case. Tax efficiency can come from the types of investments that we select from the get-go. The next piece of that, and we talked about it in the case we just spoke about a moment ago, is the location of assets. So it's important to put the right investments in the right accounts for the overall mix. And what I mean the right accounts is if you have IRA money, taxable money, Roth money, we're going to put the appropriate investments in each account so that the net effect is tax efficiency maximized. And then a third thing I'll say is often we'll see with clients that come to us, they've come from these really large firms, and the large firms do things very robotically. They're not as nimble as us. They don't have that personal touch and attention. So a large firm might do tax loss harvesting on a particular day of the year, right? Let's say December 15th. Well, that might not be the best time in the market to do it robotically just on a calendar date. You do tax loss harvesting when it makes sense, when there's a cycle in the market where we can take advantage of a drop.
Absolutely. Another example that comes to mind, Peachie, is that I do a lot of planning around with my new retirees, folks that maybe they're no longer earning wages, but they're not yet collecting Social Security. That is a perfect window to do some planning and maybe do some Roth conversion. So I do a lot of that type of planning, particularly for the new retirees. So again, if we're proactive enough, we can really be intentional about asset liquidation, what order to take funds from which account, so that we can really do some planning and really help these clients grow their wealth and be tax efficient.
Being proactive really makes a huge difference. So how would, let's say I'm a consumer, right? What is it that I need to do to help me when you're doing my financial planning?
Right. To help you, help me.
Yeah, I know a lot of things are going through our heads on that. The number one thing to get, to see if we're a match to work with someone is just to come to or knock at the office, and we can take 15 or 30 minutes, just get to know each other, ask some questions. Someone can tell us about their situation and see if we're heading in the right direction there. From there, it's really just a lot of sharing of information as we kind of build up the case and build up the facts of their situation and start driving towards what their goals are. A lot of people sort of know what they want to do, but we help them articulate those goals very clearly and help them see a path towards them. Most of our clients, I think you could describe as those sort of an approach to retirement, final approach, where they really have to get these last major decisions correct, or they're right at or just in retirement. And the planning never stops. I guess there's a second set of people we work with who I guess we describe as super savers. Retirement might be a ways off, but they're very focused on building up a nest egg for that goal. So it really just starts with an introduction meeting. If they don't want to meet in person, we obviously can do Zoom or over the phone, and we're just collecting information. We'll come back when we have enough information with a proposal. We'll say, okay, this is where you are. These are some changes we think we ought to make. And if we reach a accord, then we work together.
I would say really all we need from our clients, other than this discovery meeting and once we decide we want to work together is really just their willingness to participate in the process and learn about the planning process and understand the recommendations that we're making. It just takes a little time, really, time and effort to work together.
It's an active partnership.
Exactly. Yeah. And it is a long-term kind of process. It's not just here's your financial plan and, we're done. It changes all the time. Tax laws change all the time. Individual situations change all the time. So it's just that willingness to participate and be in a long-term professional relationship with our firm.
Investments in markets are changing every minute. So
it makes perfect sense. And the fact that you have both hand in hand makes it an efficient process for the consumer. So I have a few questions about being a fiduciary advisor. I know you're a CFP, Beverly, and yes. I work with a lot of CFPs. I want to pick your brain on what is a fiduciary advisor is, what a fee-based advisor is, and just kind of educate our viewers on those.
Absolutely. Okay, so a fiduciary advisor, in short, just means we have to have our client's best interest at heart. I think a perfect example is if you go to the Honda dealership to buy a car, they're not going to tell you that I can't think of another car brand, Toyota. The Toyota minivan is going to be the best product for you. They're responsible for maybe making the best recommendation on their lot for your situation. But a fiduciary must always have their client's best interest at heart, no matter how it affects us and our business. So that's in short what a fiduciary advisor means. And then a fee-only advisor is sort of what the name implies. We don't take commissions from any product sales. That we're only compensated by our clients. There's no outside influence on the product and anything that we recommend, because there's no incentive for us to sell a particular product or recommend a certain fund. And then so that's fee only. So fee based might be a firm that does both. They offer advisory services, but also take commissions for maybe the sale of annuities or the sale of possibly insurance. So they're fee based, not fee only.
No one pays us but our clients. So it's just a fee for a service, just like if you're going to a CPA or an attorney or a doctor, it's just a fee for a service. So we're not incentivized by any product to do one thing or another.
Excellent. So there really is no conflict of interest there, because you can recommend. And do you partner with, say, outside businesses, attorneys, perhaps?
I would say that our structure of our firm significantly reduces conflicts of interest. You can't completely eliminate them, but it significantly decreases them. Yes. So the best relationships we have with our clients is when we've integrated with their outside counsels. So we've held many joint meetings with estate planning attorneys, especially if they're longer term clients. We really intimately know the client's situation. And oftentimes we can save the client a lot of time and money in legal fees because we can bring that lawyer up to speed very quickly on the situation because we're sort of well versed in the language. Now Beverly happens to be a CPA, but and does a lot of the returns for some of our clients. But in the case that there's an outside CPA, we definitely like to work with them, especially in tax season. We're their best friend because we can get information to them very quickly and succinctly and in an understandable way for CPAs. So we definitely want to include, and insurance people too. So that would be another piece there, is that we're often coordinating with an insurance person on behalf of and we're advocating for our clients to get them in the best insurance product if that's what they're doing.
Right. It really is important because we do comprehensive financial planning. So we really do rely on other professionals to help us with our clients and help them implement the strategies that we're recommending and other risk management needs. Yeah. So we do have relationships with estate planning attorneys and insurance professionals such as yourself.
Yeah, so I do hear the efficiency really is there and the relationship. So if I were a client walking into your office, what can I expect apart from what we already discussed, a discovery meeting and how you choose what you recommend to me? What can a potential client expect walking into your office?
So for an ongoing relationship, is that what?
For a new client and an ongoing
relationship.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. We want to talk to our clients as often as they are comfortable with. I mean, the very minimum is once a year. And I don't even like the once a year minimum. Quarterly, every 6 months is a better time frame. And oftentimes it's more often on the front end as we're establishing the initial plan. And then we're doing quarterly or every 6 month check-ins from that point. The other thing that they can expect from us is, we get a quarterly report out to them showing where their investments, what the mix of the investments are and how they performed. And then we also send out periodically information that's helpful on taxes, insurance, legal matters, and other education.
Yeah, I would add to that kind of the financial planning process. So once a client decides to come on board and we're going to work together, there's paperwork to transfer assets under our management. We custody at TD Ameritrade, and so Adam's team pulls all that together, and it's an easy process, just a little bit of paperwork. And then we'll get started, we'll have a data gathering meeting where the clients will come in and I'll collect all kinds of information. If I haven't prepared their tax return, I like to have a copy of their most recent tax return, and investment statements, information about their liabilities. We'll start talking about goals, when they want to retire, if they have education planning needs. It just helps me, in this meeting, I'm trying to get an understanding of really their goals and their resources, what we have to work with. And then sometimes it takes 3 or 4 meetings just to get kind of a first draft of the financial plan. And then we tweak it from there. Like Adam said, once we get the plan together, like at this point in time, this is what things look like. It always changes. So we meet definitely at least annually after that to review the plan. And we always review beneficiaries at least once a year to make sure that those are still applicable and are the desired beneficiaries of the client, because things have been known to go sideways on beneficiary designations. So we want to make sure all of that is correct.
Yeah, that's another sort of mini case, if you will. A lot of the clients that come to us we'll find inconsistencies with beneficiaries. That's really important stuff. And we're talking about estates. One account has one beneficiary, another account has something else or none at all. So that's a really good catch if they come across.
Yeah. Some strange things have definitely happened over the years with beneficiary designation. So it is important that they're correct.
I understand that. I totally understand
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So what I hear you say really is when you are the financial advisor for a client, it's not a set it and forget it. You're there on a regular basis. You're there in the future. It's not one meeting. All right, here you go. You're good. Good luck. You're really there, and you develop a deep relationship because you're going to be asking the client for very personal information and a ton of them. And you will be there for forever, for as long as they want you to be their financial advisor, pretty much. So
Exactly.
that is a great thing, and I do love that. And I do want to take this time to thank you for your partnership with, I know with the insurance planning, you guys are a breeze to work with. So it's great to have partners like you locally. Speaking of locally, we are Nocatee residents in Ponte Vedra, and we have a lot of clients here in locally. So I want to kind of just tell our viewers, we have a lot of local viewers as well, just who you are as a Nocatee person or people. How long have you lived here? Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do for fun. I mean, I know there's a lot of questions, but I'm going to just let you do that.
Go ahead, Beverly.
Okay, so we've been Nocatee residents. My husband's name is Mark. We've been Nocatee residents for 8 years now, I believe. I have two boys. They were, middle school when we moved here. They're pretty much almost grown now, young adults, 19 and 21. So they keep us busy. What else can I tell you about myself for fun? I work a little too much. I'm taking up pickleball.
Oh yeah. And we had fun last night.
Yes, we did. We did. And we love the beach. I love being so close to the beach. That's like my happy place. Just go to the beach and relax. And I really do enjoy that part of Nocatee, being so close to the beach.
Excellent. And Adam, you're also a Nocatee resident.
We moved here from Wisconsin 7 years ago. My wife, Becky, and we have 4 kids. Ours are a little younger. They're 8 to 16, 3 boys and a girl. And we just love living in Nocatee. I mean, close to the beach, close to St. Augustine, really tight community here. We're just a few miles from work, so a nice short commute. What do I do for fun? You'll probably see me jogging a lot. I used to be a runner. I think I'm just a jogger now.
I've never been either. I'm a walker.
In a walker, yeah. And otherwise, just spending time with the family. Again, going out to the beach and annual trips to Wisconsin, visit friends and family up there.
Yes. So if any one of our local and not even outside of Ponte Vedra want to get in touch with you guys, have any questions, what is the best way for them to do that? I know your office is in Nocatee. Do they just walk in that office, or tell us how we do that?
So probably the best way to get in touch with us, just give us a call. My phone number is 904-436-5223. My husband works here with me. He's normally the one who answers the phone, so he'll be happy to set up an appointment. Or of course, if I'm available, I'd love to talk to people even without an appointment. So yeah, I definitely have people who stop by. And certainly if we're not with a client, we'd be happy to say hi.
And you can also go to whitmanwealth.com.
Yes, or our website.
Excellent. So that sounds great. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate this. You taking time out of your busy schedule, educating our consumers, our viewers, sharing your knowledge, and just giving us sort of what to expect when working with Whitman Wealth Management, and as a fiduciary advisor, I think it's important to educate us on that.
I would just add, Peachie, I do want to be a resource for everybody here in the community. Even if it turns out that we're not a good fit to work together, I want people to call me and ask questions. I don't, and we do have other resources if there's somebody who, for whatever reason, isn't a great fit for me or our firm. I do work with other CPAs, other advisors that I can refer people to if I think it's a better match.
Excellent. That is very...
I want people to call and ask questions if I can help at all.
Excellent. That is a very good point, because sometimes, like Adam said, it may not be a match, right? That's why you got to have that conversation to see if you're a match. So thank you for adding that. So thank you, Beverly. Thank you, Adam. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Peachie.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
It's my pleasure to have you. Information shared during the show are opinions of the speakers. They are not legal, financial, or tax advice specific to you. Consult your own specialist, attorney, accountant, financial planner, or insurance advisor for your specific situation.